who owns these forests? Who owns these natural resources? And when you look into the history of resource ownership in this country, it's a fascinating history, because traditionally Indian rulers were the owners of everything in their realm, in principle. In practice, the ruler would say, this forest I want for my shikar, that talab I want for my family's bathing, those fields I want to cultivate for the army's well-being, and the rest would be handed over to the communities. You manage them as if you own them, and just pay me a tribute at the end of the year. And communities actually did manage their resources. They used them as if they were their own, and they managed them, and they managed them pretty well. One, just to throw another fact at you, is that at the start of the 18th century, half of the world's economy was accounted for by two countries. Can you guess? China and India. We were an extremely rich country, which is why we were called Sone ki Chidiya. Now, all this changed when the British came here. They came here to make money, and very soon applied the British laws, one of which was the sovereign rights of the kings. And in the sovereign rights of the kings, they took over all the natural resources, the better natural resources. So the best forests went over to the crown, the rivers were handed over to the irrigation department, and pretty soon people got alienated from all these resources. What we did after independence was simply to adopt that model, to expand it, and to strengthen the government control on these resources. If we want to see growth take place, you know, the 8 and 10% growth model that people are talking about, you cannot sustain it if your resource base is poor. You've got to have productive forests, you've got to have water in the rivers, and you've got to have productive land. Our land productivity is one of the lowest in the world. And that's again something that we can thank the British for, because they split up the resource management, which was at one point done in a comprehensive manner by the local panchayat. They looked after the forest, the same panchayat looked after the land and the river and your well-being. Now, there is a forest department, there's an irrigation department, these guys never talk to each other, the farmers don't know why the forests are important for farming. And even though a good farmer will tell you that, look, my farming requires water, it requires forests, it requires good grasslands, all right? But this is not well understood at the planners level. I would argue that, you know, we talk a lot about liberalization in this country, and we are very happy that the entrepreneurs, their economy got liberalized. But what about the rural economy? Why is that not being liberalized?